How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another show. This is You Made Roscoe. I am he. On my side here is OG Zo, and down at the bottom is my man Silk Threadz. And today's show, we're talking about if men are being feminized in relationships. I thought it was a topic that we could discuss. I thought a lot of people would be interested in that topic. And before we go into some of the video clips that we have concerning this topic, I just want to get you guys tiny take on that, starting with you, Zo, on just what do you think about like current relationships and where men stand in these relationships?
I think it's not. I think it's not seen as equals right now. I think there's a lot of people that feel like they run it, or it shouldn't be as equal as it should be. I think men get the short end of the stick sometimes, or most times, and it's not.
Ask you like where you saw the imbalance at, but you say men are getting the short.
Yeah, I think men get the short end of the stick a lot. It's overlooked because of how men are supposed to be seen. Like it's a pick and choose on that end, because it's like we're supposed to not be like men, but then when we are hurt or whatever, we're supposed to be like men. So it's like, how do you want it? It's very confusing the way that it's kind of set up right now.
Right. Silk, what's your thoughts?
Boy, it's hard for masculinity out here nowadays. If you're masculine, you're toxic. If you're feminine, you ran over. I just rather be masculine than toxic, tell you the truth. And I guess the title of the show are men being feminized in these relationships? Right. I'm gonna definitely say yes. For one, I hear a lot of women always saying there's very few men who have more education than they do. There's very few men that has more money than they do. So who are they to be submissive to? You get what I'm saying? So they use their money and they use their education as leverage and power over the man, whom is not allowed some of the perks that's given to women. You know what I'm saying? The system is designed for women to succeed. Even though they complain a lot about not having equal pay, but they the ones that end up with the job. So in most cases, so
how does that type of stuff like affect their relationship dynamic?
Because if she's making the most money, she gonna want to call the rules. She's gonna want to call the shots. She in her head is the breadwinner, and ain't shit you can say to her. You better lower your motherfucking tongue, unless you. The only offset that God gave for that situation is big B energy. You hear me? That's the only thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the great equalizer. Having a magic stick and in some way and rocking that boat the right way is the only way that they give any man that don't measure up.
I'm gonna say something about
any that. Authority in their relationship.
I'm gonna say something about that, man, because I think that that may be some of the problem in some of these relationships, is that we prioritizing some of the wrong things in the relationships. It could be money, it could be sex, but I think we don't look at like the long-term type of things, the real long-term type of things that you have to deal with when you're dealing with somebody for X amount of time. So you have to think about, am I going to be able to deal with this person's snoring or this person's way of being or way of seeing these type of situations, so these are the type of things that people aren't really thinking about. They think about, we gonna look cute together and you know, all of the fairy tale type stuff when they're not really thinking about just the long term, all of the long term things that make up a relationship. But before I even continue, I want Zo to be able to show this one video clip that we do have, where it's a newscast of a particular segment that's going on between three people. There's, of course, the anchor of the show, and then there's two guests to the show, a man and a woman, who are going back and forth about this particular subject. And I guess it's being described as a should there be a renaissance, or are men happier now than women at age 40, I think it is, because of money, that type of discussion. So I'll let Zo go ahead and into some of the clips, and then we can discuss some of that stuff. So. All right, so you can go ahead and.
That has got to change. It is time for Renaissance. He is, of course, Mark Rudolph, and Lee Sweell disagrees. All right, Mark, what's this Renaissance about?
Well, Neil, today's American man is built like a Ken doll, smooth between the legs. It all comes down to tears, tantrums, and sex. He'll do anything to avoid her tears and tantrums and anything to get sex. So now he's living in a gynocracy, and that's basically it in a nutless shell.
Let's stop this right here. Let's stop this right here. Stop it, Zo. Oh my God. Dude. He said, first of all, he said they slick between the legs like a kid.
And that's it in a nutless shell.
In a nutless shell.
He said, oh my God, but this gynocracy that we happen to live in, you know, it's not the patriarchy that women think it is, you know, apparently according to this guy, but a lot of men do happen to think just like this man, you know. So I just want to get some of y'all tiny thoughts on this. Go ahead, so I want to hear what you have to say.
Oh no, my hand was up because I think like dude too.
Yeah, no, I think we kind of, we all fairly in that realm, you know what I mean? You know,
but nobody wants to be a male chauvinist, right?
No.
That ain't what we saying though, are we? We're not saying male chauvinism, right?
No, not at all.
Okay, so you know, I just wanted that to be clear for the viewers at home, because like we have a lot of female followers, and you know what I'm saying? We're not trying to rub you ladies the wrong way. We just want to give it to you the right way.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
So this is what we'll do. We'll allow the guy in the video to elaborate a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll just go ahead. We'll go ahead and let Zo continue to play a little more of the video so we can hear what's going on here.
Well, the good thing we kind of had the whole, you know, nipple ring thing going, so we kind of set the stage.
Theme.
All right, so we got a theme going. What do you think of that? What do you think that women rule the roost and the guys are acknowledging?
Well, first of all, Mark is just a mouthpiece for male whiners out there. I mean, come on. If you're living by women's rules, Mark, then you choose to do that. You want to be mothered. You want to be pampered.
I think you didn't listen to me, Lee. I just said that.
Just like you were mothered and pampered by your mother.
Yeah, no, that's.
Dude, did you just say that
tell you to take
bullshit?
your socks off?
Hold on, just quick 5 seconds. Did anybody just say that bullshit she just said? First, she said, live by women's rules. You would live, if you live by women's rules, your life will be better. And then in the same breath, she said, then if you live by women's rules, it's because you want to be pampered and smothered and be less than a man. In the same breath.
Yeah, no,
I just want to know that go over anybody
and
else.
that's why, and that's why I disagree with the happy wife, happy life, because it's literally that.
Yeah, no, this is the confusion that a lot of women have going on in their thought process, is the way that they could swing from one side of the pendulum to the next. You know, so yeah, no, like Silk said, you know, it was kind of crazy how she spent and said you know, two different things all at the same time to try to
Right.
make one point, you know.
Right,
but,
like it confused me for a minute. I just want to know. Hey, roll that, keep it rolling. So this
yeah,
shit is very
let's see
interesting.
what
Run it
else.
back, keep it running.
Let's see what else you got to say.
When to put the lid down on the toilet. Come on, Mark.
Well,
If
why
that's-
do you say take your
Lise,
socks
you're
off
not
and put the lid
listening.
down on the
Because
toilet?
women happen to be a
I
little bit
said
more.
the opposite.
Women happen to be a little bit more hygienic. And look, Mark.
The whole toilet thing, the sock thing,
Right.
you guys seem to be obsessing about stuff that's really not important, is it?
Yeah, but if you want to live with this as you do, and as we
I
talked
see.
about, so you're much happier, you live healthier lives if you're in a long relationship. The men that are depressed out there are the ones that aren't in a relationship.
And their socks are
And
being
their
thrown
socks are being
everywhere.
thrown and the
All
lids
right,
are-
Mark, what do you make?
Stop it, because I just want to pretty much, I think I pretty much got her point in what she was saying there. And that's how a lot of women feel, pretty much what she was saying, in that if you needed decoded, ladies, is, they wouldn't need it decoded because that's the language they speak. So for the men that don't understand,
Right.
she's telling you to just acquiesce, just whatever demands that we happen to lay out there, just go ahead and fall through for the sake of your happiness.
I say jump, you say how high.
Yeah.
Because your happiness is dependent on her attitude.
Exactly.
For real though. And but that's so crazy that's the standard. And that's why I said it's like a pick and choose, because a lot of the stuff they pick, they wouldn't have a lot of the stuff that they would actually, like, they're leaving in, because there's, like, it goes both ways. They're not, it's like they don't want it to be, they don't want their perks, like you said, to be harmed. They still want that, but then they want everything else that they want. Like, they're not willing to give anything to get anything.
No, you'll hear it a lot of times with a lot of these ladies. They always say, I want it all. I can have it all. You know what I mean? And so that's that type of mentality that you talking about, Zo, is that the fact that they could say, I can have this and I can have that at the same time, you know. But I don't think it's fair to the guys, you know, for women to just simply have this type of thought process. And that's not to say that men aren't supposed to try to, you know, make sure that they're good and make sure that they're happy. But first of all, like, anybody who's looking for happiness outside of themselves is in the wrong place anyway. Like, you,
It starts
like,
with you, man. Yeah,
you're
yeah.
responsible for your own happiness.
for a woman.
Yeah.
That's typical for a woman, though. You're supposed to make a woman happy. They don't know happiness without being made happy.
But they need to hear this from, whether it be our show or from other shows that's like this. Well, I don't want to say it's like this because ain't no show like this. You know,
but life is a hard pill to swallow. That's just it. That's it. I mean, you can't make everybody like you that you come in contact with. Mm-hmm. So if they can get over that, they can get over this.
All right, so since we're talking about that, let's talk about
person too.
Let's talk about the topic that they brought up. What about the toilet seat up? What's the deal? What's the deal with that? Do you feel like you, as a man, are responsible for toilet duties?
No, I don't think I am, because I'm not responsible for anybody's ass but mine and my kids. But that's
toilet seat up or down.
No,
or do you care?
I mean, no, it doesn't. It won't matter to me, because, like, if I walk in and I need something specifically done for me, I'm making sure I have that when I walk in. It's not nobody else's job. So, like, if I want a cold glass of OJ in the morning, it's not for me to make sure that I have OJ in the fridge. So when I go to sleep, I can wake up to a cold cup of OJ. That's on me. It's not on anybody else.
I would think they would argue that's two totally different situations. The toilet seat is in my opinion is a lack of accountability for self. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like, okay, you're a man, you pull the toilet seat up. Okay, when I leave it down and piss on the seat, you mad. You know what I'm saying? Well, wipe it after. Okay, well, that's extra work. So now you want me to have to do extra work to please you, and you don't even want to do no work for your own edification. Meaning you came in the bathroom. It ain't my fault if you don't want to cut the light on. That's a personal choice. It ain't my fault if you don't want to check the toilet before you sit down. You just plop your ass down on a cold toilet seat. That's personal choice. You know
But
what I'm
we have to
saying?
check if it's down, or we have to check if
Exactly.
it's up. So that's what
We
I'm
gotta
saying. It's
pull it up.
50-50. We already got to
So
do
why
it.
would
So I
thank
get
you,
it.
bro.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now if I would come in the bathroom and the toilet seat was always up, if she used the toilet and she pulled the toilet seat up because she know I'm gonna be next probably,
Yeah.
then I would see, okay, after I finish, I put the toilet seat down because I'm getting that much consideration. You know what I'm saying? But to have no accountability for the fact and say, you're an asshole and I hate you because you can't follow one rule. I tell you to leave the seat up, or leave the seat down, boo-boo, it's girls here. Okay, it's boys here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where's the consideration? Where's this equality that everybody wants?
Because we're overlooked, man. As males, we're overlooked. It's not, we're supposed to deal with it while everybody else they're supposed to get pampered. And it's like, I get maybe back in the day it was like that, but I mean, we're far from that, if anything. So why would you expect those same things? Like, unless you are traditional, you're not going to get traditional because you're not looking for traditional.
Is that traditional?
Well, I mean, I'm saying in all specters, because I mean, I don't think you would have that. I think I think it's more equal on that level, to where when you're just in a relationship and they expect you to just like hand over foot, cater to them. It's like they want the chivalry, but they don't want a man to say anything about anything. We can't even have a saying.
Seat up or seat down. Oh my God.
Yeah, seat up or seat down, Scope.
Seat up, man. Seat up. When you get in the bathroom, ladies, you should be having the lights on anyway. So turn on the light, see who's here, see where the seat is at, and adjust accordingly. That's because we will have to do the same with y'all. I mean,
she don't want to fuck up her. She don't want to fuck up her sleepy. She's still sleepy.
Yeah.
The light gonna wake her up.
No, it's always it always.
Sometimes you gotta face the music.
Yeah, they don't want to be accountable, bro. It's all because you know what I hear all the time in that particular situation is that you should have it down for me. I'm gonna run in there at such and such a time. No, well, how about that I'm gonna have the seat up, so you should turn on the light and check it. You know what I mean? You should be doing that anyway, especially if y'all got like kids and stuff like that. Yeah. Like
you sit on the seat full of shit.
Yeah, so
you sit on the seat full of baby shit. Keep playing.
let's stop playing this game of we're supposed to assume certain things, some unrealistic type of things, when we could just be real. So that's always my thing with them in these situations. But some of the verbiage that we use too, I think, when we talk about when we talk in relationships, using equality is kind of it's kind of what and what with me, because I look at relationships as a team, and everybody on the team ain't always equal. You know what I mean? But they still band together to get to the ultimate goal. Nonetheless.
Your yin to your yang.
So teams are built different. You know what I mean? Maybe there's some teams that are 50-50. There's some teams that are 70-30. You know what I mean?
The best teams are the ones where when it's your night. You know what I'm saying? You every night might not be your night. Every night wasn't Jordan night.
Yeah.
Sometimes Scotty pulled them through. Sometimes Rodman pulled them through. Sometimes B.J. Armstrong pulled them through. Horace Grant pulled them through. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't always Jordan's night, even though Jordan was the main catalyst of the relationship of that team. It's the same thing with the relationship. It doesn't have to be financial,
right? But
mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it should be 100. That means everybody playing at the best they can play, and allowing allowing yourself or the other person to have a bad night. You know what I'm saying? Bad game,
Yeah.
bad couple of games. You see what I'm saying? Because in having those downtimes, you learn. You know what I'm saying? You perfect your craft. You learn. If you're working on this relationship, then you do the things you need to do in a way. And that's not catering to nobody's whims, though. You get what I'm saying? It ain't doing what I tell you to do. Now I'm happy. That ain't what it is. But that's what we get a lot of the times. It's like,
no, I know it's crazy out here, man. But we got like a little more than a minute before this show ends. So in closing, I just want to say that, you know, men should be men, women should be women. Everybody should play their role accordingly. I really don't worry about, you know, who's carrying what percentages, as long as it all adds up to 100 in the end and we get to the ultimate goal. So that's it for me. But like, comment, subscribe, share, you know, get over on You Made Roscoe on Facebook, you know, go over to Silk and the Guys to watch his shows. You know, he records on Sunday nights at 5:30, so be sure to watch his stuff. And I guess that's it. Deuces, everybody.